The National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there and welcome to the 9 PM news on the most prestigious channel of Sri Lanka. I'm Niketh Karunaratne.
And I'm Sutme Jayaratne. Now let's take a look at today's headlines.
The Middle East plunges into severe conflict as US and Israel launch a massive joint strike against Iran. 51 schoolgirls have been killed in an Iranian primary school following an Israeli airstrike. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs states that it is closely monitoring the safety of Sri Lankans residing in the Middle East. Several special hotlines have been introduced to report any emergencies. Many air travels to the Middle East have been halted. Flights from Katunayake have also been temporarily suspended. There will be no disruption to fuel supplies, confirms the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation. Large number of devotees participate in the Kachchatheevu festival. The national television secures the highest number of nominations for this year's Raigam Tele'es, receiving 48 nominations. 500 million rupees worth of narcotics seized in Higalduwa, Ambalangoda.
On to those and other stories in detail now. The United States and Israel have launched a series of coordinated military strikes against Iran. International media reports indicate that powerful explosions rocked the Iranian capital Tehran and several other regions early this morning.
Meanwhile, Iranian state news agency has reported that an Israel strike targeted primary girls' school in the city of Mina. According to the reports received this evening, Iranian state media is reporting that 51 schoolgirls were killed in this attack.
In a video released on social media, the United States President Donald Trump confirmed the commencement of a massive military operation against Iran. He pointed out that this action is being taken in response to Iran's missile program. In the video, he further stated that these strikes will continue until the Iranian missile system is completely leveled.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
Meanwhile, Israel stated that it targeted Tehran with the aim of preventing a potential Iranian attack. A statement issued by the Israeli Defense Ministry noted that all sectors within the country have been placed on high alert following the strike. Iran has not yet officially responded to the attacks. However, foreign media reports suggest that strikes occurred in close proximity to the office of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Tehran, pushing the Middle East region into a severe state of war. Commenting on the specialized operation named Roar of the Lion, Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz stated that these steps were taken to eliminate the deadly threat posed by the Iranian regime. He emphasized that Iran's possession of nuclear weapons is a threat to all humanity and that the time has come for the Iran people to be liberated from this oppressive rule. Expressing his praise for President Donald Trump for providing historic leadership for his joint strike, Israel Prime Minister stated that the objective of the attack is to remove an existential threat. Foreign media reports indicate that strikes were carried out very close to the office of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Tehran. A massive wave of cyber attacks has reportedly targeted Iranian communication networks, including the state news agency. Consequently, the operations of several major government-linked news services have been disrupted. In response to the United States-Israel joint strike, Iran immediately launched counter-attacks. Israel's security forces stated that a series of missiles and drone attacks were launched from the Iranian border towards Israel, triggering silence across the country. Amidst this unprecedented joint offensive, the risk of a regional Great War has emerged, as Iran also carried out heavy strikes against United States military bases located in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates. Following the latest developments, airspace in Gulf countries including Qatar, Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates has been closed. Several countries including India, Russia, Israel and Germany have taken steps to temporarily suspend their flights to the Middle East. Meanwhile, the British government stated that the Middle East does not need a broader regional conflict.
Meanwhile, the geopolitical landscape has shifted into a state of high alarm following the joint US and Israel strike on Iran this Saturday. As the smoke clears over the Tehran and surrounding regions, the international community has fractured into deeply divided camps.
While some Western allies have moved quickly to justify the military action as a necessary strike against a destabilizing regime, other global powers and regional neighbors are warning of a catastrophic slide into complete war. From offers of mediation in the Southeast Asian region to vows of retaliation in the Gulf, here is how the world is reacting to this February escalation.
Australia has emerged as a primary supporter of the military intervention, with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese backing the United States decision. The Prime Minister characterized the Iranian regime as a destabilizing force that has presided for decades, aligning Canberra with President Trump's declaration that mass terror would no longer be tolerated. While the United Kingdom did not participate in the physical strikes, the gravity of the situation is being felt in London, where Prime Minister Keir Starmer is preparing to chair an emergency Cobra meeting to manage the fallout of today's attacks. The diplomatic pushback from Moscow has been swift and severe. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, in a direct call with his Iranian counterpart, condemned the operation as an unprovoked armed attack by the United States and Israel. The Kremlin is demanding an immediate halt to the strikes, urging a return to political and diplomatic settlements. Moscow has called on the international community to provide an objective assessment of what it labels irresponsible actions that risk a total destabilization of the Middle East, while maintaining its readiness to assist in finding solutions based on international law. The European Union and several neutral nations are attempting to navigate a middle path, emphasizing the protection of civilians. EU leader Ursula von der Leyen and Antonio Costa issued a joint statement describing the development as greatly concerning and calling for maximum restraint from all parties. In Southeast Asia, Indonesia has taken a proactive stance, with President Prabowo Subianto expressing a personal readiness to travel to Tehran to facilitate a dialogue between Washington and the Iranian leadership. Jakarta expressed deep regret over the failure of previous negotiations and warned that the current military escalation threatens world peace. The impact of the Gulf states has introduced a new layer of complexity to the crisis. Following Iran's retaliatory strikes, Saudi Arabia has condemned the targeting of Gulf nations in the strongest possible terms, warning of dire consequences for the violation of state sovereignty. The United Arab Emirates reported its first civilian casualty from the falling debris in Abu Dhabi, labeling the Iranian response a blunt attack. Meanwhile, Bahrain, Qatar and Kuwait have all reported violations of their airspace and territory. Qatar and Kuwait have both formally stated they reserve the right to respond to these treacherous missile attacks, while they claim have fundamentally undermined regional stability. On the fringes of the conflict, nations like Norway and Belgium have voiced specific concerns regarding the legality and human cost of the strikes. Norway's foreign ministry argued that the preventive strikes justification does not align with the international law, as it requires an immediately imminent threat. Meanwhile, the United Nations Right Chief has deployed the violence, warning that further military action will only yield death, destruction and human misery, as France warns that this dangerous escalation must stop to protect global security. The focus now shifts to whether diplomacy can be resurrected before the conflict expands beyond the point of no return.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that it is closely monitoring the safety of Sri Lankans living in Middle Eastern countries amidst the current regional situation. A statement released by the ministry this afternoon notes that several special telephone numbers have been introduced at relevant Sri Lankan embassies to report any emergencies.
The Foreign Affairs Ministry further states that it is in constant communication with the heads of missions of Sri Lankan embassies located across the Middle East. The ministry confirmed that thus far no Sri Lankans have been adversely affected by the ongoing conflict. Sri Lankans residing in these countries are urged to strictly follow the instructions issued by the respective local governments and the Sri Lankan embassies. A 24-hour Special Operations Centre has been established by the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment. Inquiries can be made via the WhatsApp number +94 71 980 2822 or the emergency hotline 1989. In light of the military situation in the Middle East, Sri Lankan Airlines has taken steps to suspend several scheduled flights due to certain countries closing their airspace. Accordingly, a statement issued by Sri Lankan Airlines confirms that today's flights from Colombo to Riyadh, Kuwait, Dammam, Dubai and Doha have been temporarily cancelled. Passengers can obtain further information via the telephone numbers 1979 or 011 777 1979. The WhatsApp number +94 74 444 1979 through their respective travel agents or by visiting the website www.srilankan.com. Sri Lankan Airlines emphasizes that these measures were taken to ensure the safety of all passengers. The Civil Aviation Authority has implemented a special program to facilitate passengers and flights arriving in and departing from Sri Lanka following the closure of regional airspace. As Sri Lankan Airlines and Fitsair have temporarily suspended flights to the Middle Eastern destinations, the authority requests passengers to contact their respective airlines for information before arriving at the airport. Steps have also been taken to keep the Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport on standby for any requirements. The Civil Aviation Authority advises the public not to harbour any unnecessary fears regarding the current situation. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, DJ Rajakaruna, advises the public not to have any concerns regarding the supply of petroleum products in the wake of the Middle East crisis. Chairman of the CPC, DJ Rajakaruna, said that there is no need for the public to become unnecessarily panicked despite reports of unrest in some areas following the start of the Iran war. He stated that a full calculation of the current stocks confirms that the country can operate for more than a month without any issues. Specifically, the current supply of petrol is sufficient for 37 days, auto diesel is available for 35 days, and aviation fuel is stocked for 47 days. He explained that when combining existing stocks with shipments currently arriving, country can maintain its fuel supply for this duration even if no further ships arrive. The chairman further clarified that the impact of a potential closure of the Strait of Hormuz would be minimal because most refined fuels such as petrol and diesel are imported from India, Singapore, Korea and Malaysia rather than the Middle East due to high shipping costs. He concluded by emphasizing that there is no requirement for the public to be alarmed and noted that unnecessary panic would only create further problems.
Buddhism as well as culture and many other elements were bestowed upon Sri Lanka from India since ancient times.
Another gift received from India is the island of Kachchatheevu. The annual feast of St. Anthony's Church has commenced today with great festive splendour. A record number of devotees are participating in the pilgrimage this year. Situated between Jaffna and Rameswaram in South India, Kachchatheevu is the island located at a distance from the Sri Lanka mainland and is closest to India. The annual feast of St. Anthony's Church, established there, boasts a history of over 100 years. It is believed to have been built around 1905 by an Indian fisherman named Sinikuppam Vatte. Folklore suggests the church was constructed as an act of gratitude after a group of distressed fishermen were saved at sea. In the past, political disputes existed between Sri Lanka and India regarding the ownership of Kachchatheevu. However, during the Indo-Sri Lankan Maritime Boundary Agreements of 1974 and 1976, ownership of the island was granted to Sri Lanka. According to these agreements, devotees from both countries are permitted to visit the church for worship under specific conditions. Accordingly, the annual two-day feast of St. Anthony's Church is celebrated as a symbol of peace, strengthening the cultural and religious ties between the people of both nations. The festive High Mass commenced this morning, presided over by the Most Reverend Lord Anandan, Bishop of the Diocese of Sivangay, India, and Reverend P.J. Jebaratnam, Vicar General of the Diocese of Jaffna. The event was attended by several distinguished guests, including Minister Ramalingam Chandrasekhar, Commander of the Sri Lanka Navy, Vice Admiral Kanchana Banagoda, and the Indian Consul General in Jaffna, Sri Sai Murali. Over 8,000 devotees are participating in this year's festival, including more than 4,000 Indian pilgrims. As in previous years, the Sri Lankan Navy is providing full logistical support for the event. Following the Holy Mass, the congregation was blessed with the statue of St. Anthony. In the meantime, a stock of heroin and ice narcotics valued at around 500 million rupees was taken into custody this morning in the Higalduwa Police Division in Ambalangoda. Our correspondent says 4 male suspects and 2 female suspects were arrested in this connection. The raid was conducting according to information received by OIC of the Ahangalla police station. More than 14 kilos of heroin and 13.5 kilos of ice narcotics were nabbed in the operation. Other items apprehended were 30 live ammunition of the 9mm type and 30 live ammunition of the 38mm type. 3 suspects, including a couple, have also been arrested, along with a consignment of 20,000 narcotic capsules valued around 3 million rupees by the Panadura South Headquarters Police. The suspects, aged 19, 20 and 37, were nabbed according to a tip-off received by the Intelligence Division officials.
A group which represents the Montana State Partnership Program has met Ambassador Mahinda Samarasinghe recently to look into investment opportunities in the Sri Lankan granite industry. The delegation has expressed a strong interest to invest in Sri Lankan granite industry and also to utilize their expertise in the global market with the support of the United States. Ambassador Samarasinghe has reiterated Sri Lanka's commitment to enhance facilities for direct foreign investment, and he has also stressed that strengthening all bilateral economic relations would become a crucial factor in locating Sri Lanka within the mineral supply chain. The Muni Group LLC focused attention in the task of identifying and development of mineral resources. The company deploys practical strategies on mine excavation and resources management. The 58th in the series of Arogya Mobile Wellness Clinic was conducted at the Sri Sudarshanarama Purana Viharya in Batapata, Telangana today. The event has been conducted under the theme of Healthy Sri Lanka. The general public have been accorded the opportunity to receive many services in optical, dental field as well as in the testing of blood mass index, measuring of blood pressure and laboratory facilities. Issuance of medicine free of charge under the observation of consultant physicians has also taken place. Patients in need of long-term treatment were referred to specialist clinic in major government hospitals. The Arogya Mobile Wellness Clinic program is being conducted continuously under the direction of Minister of Health and Mass Media, Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, with the objective of providing an optimum health service to the general public. A new post office has been conducted in place of the more than 67-year-old sub-post office building in the Bandagiri settlement in Hambantota. The newly constructed building, built at a cost of 5.49 million rupees, was declared open by Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa yesterday. The Bandagiri post office has also so far been maintained at numerous places on rent basis.
6 planets in our solar system will be visible in alignment in tonight's sky, according to astronomer Gihan Veerasekara. He points out that this is a rare opportunity to witness such an event with the naked eye, occurring only once in several years. The planets Mercury, Venus, Saturn and Neptune can be observed in the western sky, while Jupiter and Uranus will be visible higher up in outer space. While Mercury, Venus, Saturn and Jupiter can be viewed with the naked eye, a telescope will be required to observe Uranus and Neptune.
In weather's update, tomorrow mainly fair weather will prevail over the most parts of the island. Misty condition can be expected at some places in western, Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and northwestern provinces and in Anuradhapura and Monaragala district during the early hours of this morning. We'll be back with foreign news after a short break.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
In today's foreign news, President Donald Trump, in a special statement, says there is a possibility of the United States taking control of the Cuban administration in an amicable manner. Addressing media personnel at the White House, he further stated that U.S. will continue to have discussions with Cuba, which is currently enmeshed in a severe economic crisis. A program to take charge of Cuba in a friendly atmosphere is being implemented under the leadership of U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The U.S. has taken measures to impose its influence on Cuba by meddling on its reliance on Venezuela oil resource. Meanwhile, Cuban President Diaz-Canel says American policy is another uncivilized measure of U.S. imperialism and insists that Cuba will face unflinched against any form of U.S. aggression. It has also been pointed out that humanitarian crises could have arisen due to economic sanctions imposed on Cuba.
Now taking a look at some more local news, the nomination ceremony for the Raigam Tele'es 2025 was held yesterday at the Water's Edge Hotel in Battaramulla.
In a significant achievement, Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation secured the highest number of nominations with a total of 48 receipts announced during the event. The ceremony was presided over by the veteran artist Dr. Rohana Veerasinghe and was attended by a distinguished gathering of artists and media personnel across various fields. Under the Media Excellence category, the program telecast on national television received nominations for the Best Children's Program, Tuition, directed by Pushpita Pires. In addition, the Best Sports Program, Krida Visituru, directed by Susanti Jeevani Premachandra, was also nominated. 2 nominations were also secured as the Best Educational Program for Smart Agro, directed by Lasantha Rumeshan Tilakarasire, and Jatika Pasala, directed by Tarangi Atrulia. The Best Musical Program, Piyum Nilavila, directed by Chintika Anuradha Pereira, was also nominated as the Most Excellent Television Music Program of the Year. Nomination for Best Dubbing was secured by the teledrama Kirillio 2, directed by Buddhika Sampath Fonseca. 2 nominations have also been received for the Best Documentary Program of the Year. They were The Turtle Conservation in Our Responsibility, directed by Pujita Disanayaka, and Palm Leaf Writing, directed by Viraj Dharmadasa. The Best Magazine Program of the Year was Sukkanama, directed by Tarangi Athurulia, and the Best Talk Show was nominated Ridma, directed by Anoma Veerasekara. 3 national television presenters have also been nominated for the News and Presentation Excellence Award of the Year. They were the Best News Presenter Tamil Theekshan Sivaraja of the Netra TV, Maria Jaiman and Nagaratnam Deepadarshini, also of the Netra TV. Channel I News presenters of the National TV, Niket Karunaratne and Shivam Pereira, were nominated as the Best English News Anchors.
Nomination for the Best Presenter in Sinhala was secured by Samita Prasanna Arachige of the National Television. 2 nominations for the Best Presenters in Tamil were secured by Yuvaraja Gokul Niranjan and Selvaraja Rushantha Priya of the Netra TV. Sharifa Tahir of ChannelEye was nominated for Best Presenter in English. The national television showed a strong dominance in the technical and creative categories for teledramas. The Best Art Direction nomination was secured by Chandana Priyankara for Situvara Puatha. The nomination for the Best Cameraman of the Year was received by Sisikirana Paranavithana, also of the Situvara Puatha, and Chintaka Somakirti for the teledrama The Lake. Namal Samaratunga has received a nomination for Best Editing of the teledrama The Lake. All 3 nominations in the Best Music Direction category went to the national television. Chintaka Jayakodi for Situvara Puatha, the team comprising of Vidu Kahapalarachi, Gayan Amarasuriya and Dilhara Nandasiri for The Lake, and Darshana Ruam Disanayaka for Iragini Maddahana. The Best Lyrics nominations were secured by Kalana Gunasekara for the composition of lyrics in the Seesaw teledrama and Sapuni Muthukutti for Iragini Maddahana. Amarasiri Piris was nominated as the Best Male Singer of the Year for Ira Hangila teledrama and Gihan Bandara for the Seesaw teledrama. The national television has also been accorded the nominations for the Best Female Singer in Ira Hangila teledrama by Prasadini Yashodhya and Siumini Opeangi for Iragini Maddahana. Dilum Vijay Singha from Seesaw was nominated for the Best Upcoming Actor, whereas Tashi Sirivardhana secured the Best Upcoming Actress nomination for Iragini Maddahana. Xavier Kanishka received the nomination for Best Supporting Actor for The Lake and Sampath Pereira for Amuthu Dostara. The Best Supporting Actress nomination went to Chamatka Lakmini of The Lake. Roshan Ravindra and Saumya Lienage were nominated as Best Actors for Situvara Puatha and The Lake. Tharindi Fernando was nominated as the Best Actress for Iragini Maddahana. Nominations for Best Scriptwriting were received by Susit Vijayamuni and Dilshika Rajapaksa for Amuthu Dostara teledrama. The Best Teledrama Directors of the Year were Danushka Raymond of The Lake and Lalit Rohita Edirisingha of Iragini Maddahana. Diluka Prasad Gunatilaka and Atula Piris were nominated as the Best Single Episode Teledrama Sahodareo and Aveshya. The Best Teledrama Production nominations were awarded to Semini Iddamalgoda and Atula Iddamalgoda for The Lake and Chandana Liana Gunavardhana for Situvara Puatha.
And taking a look at sports news for tonight, a Super 8 round of the World Cup T20 cricket tournament between Sri Lanka and Pakistan is in progress at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium. Pakistan has scored 212 runs for the loss of 8 wickets and Sri Lanka is currently batting with a score of 33 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. The Sri Lankan team, after winning the toss, has allowed the Pakistan team to bat first. Accordingly, the Pakistan inning was opened by Zahib Zada Farhan and Fakhar Saman. The outcome of the match would become extremely crucial in determining the second team that would become eligible to enter the semi-finals under Group 2. If Sri Lanka wins the match, the New Zealand team would be deprived of the opportunity to gain eligibility for the semi-finals. In the event of a Pakistan victory within a minimum margin of 64 runs, they will be able to enter the semi-finals.
In more sports news, Battle of the Maroons encounter between the Ananda and Nalanda College, Colombo was played for the second day today. At close of play, the Nalanda team has scored 278 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in their first innings. The annual big match is being played for the 96th occasion at the SSC ground in Colombo. Ananda College team has declared their first innings score at 353 runs for the loss of 8 wickets. Nethul Edirimana has top scored 165 runs and Nalandian bowler Oshada Pamudita took 4 wickets. Nemindra Akmina has remained unbeaten with 112 runs when the Nalandian inning was at stumps. Oshada Pamudita also scored 55 runs. Kitma Vidapatirana has captured 2 wickets for the Ananda team. The match ends tomorrow.
And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.